Hey guys, welcome back to the kitchen. I'm so excited today. We are going to ferment. I don't know if you've ever fermented, but this is a great recipe to start on if you never have done it. It's so simple, so easy. It makes a great snack to have. It's really healthy because it's full of probiotics, which is the good bacteria for your gut. It makes a great side to a charcuterie board as well. And there's so many things you can ferment. Today we're going to do carrots, and they're super simple, and even kids like these. So what you need, of course, is carrots. We're going to start with carrots. I've taken these and I peeled them, and I've sliced them into little carrot spheres, and I've rinsed them with water. Okay, so I have my bowl of carrots here, and we will need some garlic. When you ferment with garlic, it totally ups it. I mean, it is amazing. So I have some garlic cloves, which I will cut in half. We're going to do that right now. So a lot of people are afraid to ferment because they think they're going to get like botulism or something. And those are, that's an anaerobic, that's an aerobic bacteria. What we're doing is anaerobic, so nothing is going to come in contact with the oxygen or the air. So, and that's our goal, is to keep it submerged under the water so nothing comes in contact with that air at all. We also are going to use some dill, which I pulled fresh out of my garden. Now you can use dried herbs in ferments. The drawback to that is that they tend to want to float. And we want to keep everything submerged. That's what's going to keep it from molding. So dried herbs tend to hang together and stay submerged better. So I like to, or not dried herbs, fresh herbs tend to stay together and stay submerged better than dried herbs. So, and fresh herbs, oh, they give it such a great taste. So, all right, you're going to need, well, I'm going to use some crushed red pepper in mine. If you don't like dill, you don't have to use dill. You can just use garlic. Use what you have. If you have basil, use basil. This is something where you be creative and you make whatever works for you and what you have in your garden. My dill just happens to be ready and needs to be used, so I'm going to do that. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put a few crushed red pepper flakes in the bottom of a quart jar. You're also going to need some filtered water. I use distilled, but you can use filtered water. You don't want chlorine and fluoride in your water because it will interfere with the fermentation process. Added to this water, we are going to want to put 1 tablespoon of salt. I'm using Redmond's real salt. You don't want processed salt. You don't want iodized salt. It will interfere with the fermentation process. I like Redmond's. It's from right here in the United States. It hasn't traveled thousands and thousands of miles to get here. So we're going to add 1 tablespoon of that to our little pint of water. Now, if you're fermenting a quart, then you will want to make up a pint of your brine. It just works out great that way. And we're going to shake this up to try to dissolve it. And then we're going to start stacking our carrots in our jar. The little spears actually fit in there quite well. Oops, I have a jumping spear. Pack them in as best you can. Get them in there pretty tight. We want to fill up as much room as we can. And we're going to stop and put some garlic in. And we're going to put some dill in. And I should have put some dill in earlier in the game here, so it could be down in. Actually, I'm going to shake that to the side and stick some down in there. It's really forgiving, so you can pack it in however you want. With the spears, you can kind of turn it on its side and shake them and then keep packing them in the empty space down there. These stay crunchy. That's why I like to ferment carrots. Carrots and cabbage stay really crunchy. Now, squash isn't really one of my choice vegetables for fermenting because it gets kind of mushy and I like them to stay crisp. So we're gonna stick these down in here, make some room for more carrots because the more you get in, the better it is. And these just make a nice little side dish when you're making dinner at night and you just want to add something to it. And then you're getting your probiotics as well, which is good bacteria for your gut. You know, they say a lot of disease starts in the gut, so it's good to do things that help with that. And also, okay, we got these all packed in here. These just explode. Also, these explode with a lot more vitamins when you ferment. The vitamin content just goes crazy in here. Okay, we want to leave 1.5 inch head space. Now, we're gonna have to move some of these down a little bit. And I'm gonna add a little more garlic in here. Sometimes it's a game to get them all squished in there, especially when they're this long. But carrot sticks are nice to pull out and eat, so we're gonna go with it. Okay, I think I got them in there. All right, shake again to be sure that it's your salt is dissolved in your water. And then we're going to pour this on. And look, it came out just exactly right. Yay. All right, I have, we call it a weight, a fermenting weight. It's like a hockey puck glass. I'm gonna put that in there to hold my vegetables underneath the liquid. We definitely want all the vegetables to be under the liquid. That's what's gonna keep them from molding. So we're gonna push that down. And then I have fermenting lids. Now you don't have to have fermenting lids. You can use a regular mason jar lid. It's just that you will need to burp it each and every day. Just, let me show you that. I'm gonna put this lid on here and tighten this down. Now this one's automatically gonna let the air, because it's gonna create more air and bubbles. It'll get kind of effervescent as it's fermenting. Okay, if you were not using this, if you don't have this lid, that's fine too. But you're just gonna want to crack your ball lid just a little bit, not crack it, but you know, loosen it. Just enough to let the air out. Don't open it up, don't look in it, don't let more air in, just, it'll go psh when you open it, and let the air in that way. So, all right, the next thing we're gonna do, we don't wanna set this in the sun. We're gonna set it for inside, kind of in the dark. I'll put it over here on my cabinet for 10 to 14 days. After 10 days, you can come back and taste it and see if you like how it tastes. If you get any little white specks on top, that's called chyme yeast. And chyme yeast will not hurt you. I take a spoon and kind of dip it out if there's any. It'll make it taste a little more yeasty, but it won't hurt you. But I would usually, if I have that on one, I would eat it first because it'll probably come back. But it won't hurt you, so it's still good. So this is what we're gonna set over here. I'll show you up close. Isn't that beautiful? Ferments are so pretty and they're so fresh and they're so good for you. So anyway, I hope you will try to ferment something. You don't have to do carrots. There's all kinds of things you can ferment, but carrots are a really good first-time fermenter vegetable to do. So anyway, please like, subscribe, and share if you find this helpful. And join my school, my Julie's Garden Club. There's a link for it down at the bottom. And I hope to see you over there. It's a group of like-minded people. We all talk, work together, and give each other garden tips. So thanks for joining me today.